welcome to What a Waste, the only funny podcast about the environment. We're your intrepid hosts. I said intrepid again. We're your intrepid hosts, Tyler Horvath, that's me, and Lucia Whalen.
The only podcast hosts with an environmental podcast committed to doing cold water dunks.
Yeah, there's a lot of synergy between us and Andrew Huberman. Thank you once again for listening and joining us. Please rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. Like, for real, I say that a lot, but please actually write a review. Thank you for bringing friends and family into the family, the What a Waste family.
We're a family, and we're grateful for you.
Yeah, please keep sharing with friends and family. We're going to get the Patreon up and going soon. We've got the YouTube. Full videos are out on YouTube now. A couple of them are up now. Please go subscribe over there. All of these videos from now on will be up on YouTube. Thank you for the support. And how we doing, Lush?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah? It's a fun shirt.
Thanks.
Fun shirt alert.
Fun shirt alert. Just to bring some lightness and joy.
Oh, you're done. Okay. What the hell was that? Just to bring some lightness and joy. Start shaking, looking into the fucking lens. You weren't even looking into the lens. You're just looking at me like, help me.
I feel like I need a legal guardian right now.
Yeah. Well, I will not volunteer for that, but yeah.
Sometimes, do you ever feel like...
No.
Yeah, I'm not even going to go there.
However you feel, I'm pretty sure I don't feel that way most of the time. No, please, go on. What do I ever feel like what?
Like you need a conservatorship?
No. Great. I'm glad we went into business together. We're just starting to get professional about the podcast. And she's like, I don't think I can handle my day-to-day life, let alone this professional endeavor that we've embarked upon together. So.
Sometimes I just wish like someone would take over it all for me, but I don't think my parents would actually agree to a conservatorship.
No, they're like, we raised you. What are you talking about? No, but I mean, you're talking about feeling overwhelmed of the daily chores of life a little?
Yeah, I just finished my taxes.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I did my taxes, too, and it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I filled my W-2 out wrong last year, and I owed a lot of money.
Did you? You mean your W-9?
No, W-2 for my old day job.
Oh.
But
okay.
it is... Yeah, so I was having the minimum taken out, and that and comedy, I owed a lot of money.
I worked with the tax guy this year. And
did that help a lot?
Yeah, saved me thousands of dollars.
Wow.
Legally saved me thousands of dollars.
Wow, I got to do that next year.
Because I actually tracked all my expenses. I didn't do that last year. But so we have some friends who used to work with this one tax guy and some of our comedy friends.
Vic and Tyler?
No,
they have a tax guy.
I'm sure they have a very professional tax guy. Yeah. So these were some of our friends. I think I can say their names, Chris Higgins and Jenna Gephardt. They were working with a tax guy who Jenna was like, Lucia, you need to, he's awesome.
That's a great Jenna.
She's like, you should totally work with him. He's so great. And
wow, I'm actually that was perfect, Jenna.
It's my only impression that I can do is Jenna Gephardt. Useless. That'll be my SNL audition. Just my friend Jenna. And she was like, you got to work with him. And Chris,
you could turn her into a character and just not reference her and just be like,
just use her.
What situation would that voice be funny in? Just think on that. That could be your
this tax story.
Oh yeah, there you go.
And yeah, our friend Chris was like, yeah, you got to work with our guy Tony. He's so great. And
my guy Tony.
Literally a week later, Jenna's like, I'm getting audited by the IRS. And Chris was like, Tony's in Barbados.
He won't call me back. He won't return my calls. That's hilarious.
And I was like, thanks. I was gonna work with Tony, and then I did.
Yeah, thank God.
But no, I'm working with a lovely man who saved me a lot of money.
I'm gonna figure out who you are working with after.
I'll give that to you. Yeah. All right. Are you ready to learn?
Well, if you want to help us with our taxes next year, we should just put our Venmos out there. Fuck it. Just before we get the Patreon stuff up. Also, send us just DMs or whatever. Like, what would you want to see on the Patreon? Do you want to see like bonus episodes? We were thinking of doing bonus episodes where we like
watch documentaries,
and you can like have the sound on while like have us on and basically commenting on the doc while you watch it separately, or doing just kind of like a looser podcast where we just kind of just chat, just catch up kind of thing. Or
for personal reasons, I'm not wanting to just
chat.
Talk about my life anymore.
yeah. So, but like, what would you want to see on the podcast? Maybe, or on the Patreon, maybe we take listener questions or something. Like, we'll figure it out. But if you have ideas of what you'd like to see on that kind of platform where you pay like a subscription, $5 or whatever it is, just send us DMs of any ideas that you have, or an email or whatever.
Yeah.
So, well, tax season is over. But we, as we're like, I'm like, maybe we do a loose podcast on the Patreon. Meanwhile, we haven't talked about the topic yet. It's like
we're pretty loose.
It's like
in
8
general.
minutes into the podcast, anyways. But what are we talking about today, Lush?
Celebrity climate criminals.
Oh my gosh, that's a heavy one.
We all want to be famous.
Yeah, I mean, we are sitting in a room with 3 giant cameras right now.
And microphones.
And we're like, he's fucking narcissists.
Yeah, no, we don't want to be famous. The wealthiest are driving the climate crisis.
Yay!
The top 1% are responsible for 15% of emissions. That's nearly twice as much as the world's poorest 50%, who are responsible for just 7%. That's a lot of math. Don't fully understand it, but one of you do.
I love when our lack of expertise shines through. That's perfect.
Yep.
Wow, that is crazy though.
Yeah.
1%, top 1% was 15, you said.
Yes. Yeah. So I wanted to do this
Another
episode.
reason to hate people that are doing better than us.
Yeah.
In life.
Another reason just to stay where we are.
Yeah.
Plateau.
If you are unsuccessful, that's good. You're
probably emitting fewer emissions.
People are like, a lot of podcasts are like, go out there, strive, be better. We're like, stay at home. Don't worry. Don't get wealthy. Don't do anything for yourself, because it actually was probably better for the environment.
Yeah. Use the dunk tank that's called your local lake. No, I'm sorry. I short-circuited.
Lucia's hungry. She has low blood sugar.
I told him I was hungry, and Tyler was like, "You're in a fasting state. It'll be great."
She's
not understanding
delirious.
how female hormones work. Okay, so I wanted to do this episode because I was watching the Taylor Swift documentary. I love Taylor Swift.
Okay.
And there was this scene of her leaving her New York apartment, and there, at all times of the day, there are hundreds of fans waiting outside of her apartment in New York. So she has to be escorted by security guards to a giant SUV. And then the whole documentary, I was like, oh, she has to take private jets everywhere out of safety, and also for convenience. It's also very much out of convenience, but for safety. I mean, she has people stalking her.
It would be unsafe for everyone else for her to go on a commercial flight. Like everyone, there would just be stampedes all over the place.
Exactly. People stalking, it's a safety reason. Like, stalking is bad for the environment. Stop doing it. Stop stalking celebrities.
Oh, there, fixed it.
Done. So she has to take private jets everywhere. And also it just made me realize, like, I mean, this is so obvious, but I'd never really thought of it before, that of course celebrities have to live on giant compounds because it's the only place they can hang out.
Yeah, they can't just be in
They
most
can't
places.
just go work at a coffee shop.
Yeah, I remember hearing Brad Pitt talk about that, where he was like they were like, what would you do? What would you do if you weren't famous? And he's like, I'd love to just walk down the street, like just pop into places and not be. And the pandemic was big for that too, because they just wore masks all the time. They probably still do. I would if I was
I
one
absolutely would.
Yeah, not now though. We got to get these faces out there.
I know. Not us.
Not us. Oh no. Yeah, it's like it's impossible for them to just like walk around and be in a relatively public place.
Yeah. Having total privacy requires a lot of money and a lot of fossil fuels
Yeah.
for transport and for living.
Yeah.
So a big part of what we're going to be talking about are private planes.
Private planes.
Private planes, they emit 17% more than commercial flights.
Weird.
Huge homes are more expensive to heat, and the SUVs that are used to drive celebrities around, watch any episode of The Kardashians, are the second largest cause of the global rise in carbon dioxide emissions over the past decade. Leonardo DiCaprio used to
So
fly on a
crazy.
private jet, but then he renounced it once he got called out because he's a big climate guy.
So what does he do? There's no way he renounced
know.
it. That's a lot. There's no way that he's taking commercial
Leonardo
flights.
DiCaprio is just on Southwest.
Yeah. God.
No way.
Yeah, in Group C. Just
Yeah,
sitting in the
well,
back.
it is interesting that like fame and celebrity is such a core value of our culture, and
Yeah.
it's so alienating, and it's really like unsafe for people.
it's so crazy. I can't. That experience of life must be so surreal.
Yeah. Because you get so much free stuff. It's so fancy, but then you
Yeah.
also aren't able to participate in
Yeah,
normal
you can't
society.
just be in the world. Yeah. I mean, that's like Chappelle going to Africa and stuff. He's
Yeah.
like, they just treat me like a person, instead of America where he's just mobbed everywhere.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. It's got to
So-
be incredibly surreal.
Celebrity is bad for the climate. It's
yeah.
bad for the environment.
Well, at least it's not becoming even worse all the time, even worse every second. of
Luckily,
every day.
celebrity is now dying because of
Well, it's just
TikTok.
it's just dispersed.
Yeah.
It's just become like everyone is acting like they're famous.
everyone's acting like they're famous, and then also I feel like we do care less about big
It
There are still big
depends.
celebrities like Taylor Swift who are huge and mobbed. Like,
Yeah, there's no way. She's just at that other level. It's
Yeah.
but I think it also depends on like where you are. Like if you're in a middle American city, and you go out and you're a big celebrity like Brad Pitt or somebody, people are gonna be like, "What what are you doing
Yeah.
here?" And like freak out. In New York, I feel like there are the people that are like mobbing them, but then there's probably like most of the people are like, "Oh yeah, there you are." Like, of course you'd be in New York.
I was
like,
at the
why?
state
They're not like,
capitol this
"What?"
week, and Joakim Noah from the Bulls was there.
Right.
And only me and one other guy knew who he was because everyone there was such a nerd.
What was this?
I was at a environmental lobby day for Earth Week.
That's nice.
I met our new mayor, Brandon Johnson, and then Joakim Noah just walked by, and I was like,
Yeah.
and literally no one else.
Yeah, nobody else cared.
No one else cared. Okay, so celebrities have been called out recently for stupid private jet usage and water usage. It's really important that they change their behavior because academic research shows that celebrities shape what everyone else does. It's true for the
Right.
products we buy. That's why so many celebrities are used in commercials. And we're going to talk about, there's like actual brain science that explains why we are susceptible to their recommendations. But it's also true for how seriously the public and even policymakers take climate change.
Right.
So celebrities, unfortunately, do have a huge sway. That's why every billboard within a 5-mile radius of Chicago has Brian Urlacher's giant bald head on it. Give it up, Brian.
I hate those so much. And it doesn't help that you get close to O'Hare Airport and it's all hair puns with Brian Urlacher's big dumb face on it.
Give it up, Brian. Fade into the
Bri.
Fade into the background.
Hey, Bri. Probably a nice guy.
He's probably really nice.
But
Just let yourself be bald.
it's it's a little silly. Yeah, he's not bald on the thing. That's the whole point,
Yeah.
actually. But it's his big. It is really funny that
He has a
just
perfect head to be bald. It's
committed.
a circle. Just like it.
Yeah, I just like let it go, guys.
Literally let it go.
See Tucker Brookshire's video on going bald.
We'll link that in
We'll
the
link
description.
Tucker's Instagram clip. Oh God, so funny.
So good. Being bald.
My brother in Christ, shave it. Tucker Brookshire.
Tucker
Go check him
Berkshire.
out.
We love him.
Good pal.
Okay, so private jets pollute as much as 14 times more than their commercial counterparts. So there's this Twitter account called Celebrity Jets, and it's used to track celebrities' private jet usage. Former boxer Floyd Mayweather and celebrity Kylie Jenner have used their planes to take flights under 20 minutes long for trips that would only take a few hours by car. Kylie Jenner posted a picture posing with Travis Scott in between two private jets, and it was like, which one do we go on today? In 2022, Taylor Swift's private jet had taken off some 170 times between January and late July. Floyd Mayweather's jet flew 177 trips in the same time period, including a 10-minute flight between two airports in the Las Vegas area.
That's so wild.
Right?
So wild to go to the airport and then fly 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Just a little puddle jump.
Yeah.
That's so wild. I mean, 170 flights in a year. God.
I like driving.
I don't. We definitely disagree. I hate it.
I love
really
driving. But I grew up doing a lot of road trips.
I
so-
did too, and that's why I hate it. We had the opposite reaction to it.
'Cause
Most
you weren't-
people feel free.
You weren't harmonizing as a family in the car.
Yeah, and you were.
Yeah.
What would you sing?
Beatles songs.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Let's talk about celebrities being
Beatles.
mobbed.
Yeah.
Beatlemania. Yeah, if I had this ability, I would like to say that I wouldn't use it. I mean, there'd be no reason for me to do 170 in a year, but like, if I could fly for 20 minutes and not drive 3 hours, I would be so happy because I hate it.
I love driving. I love opportunity to listen to podcasts, to sing. I love to sing in the car.
Yeah. That is the only place I sing when I am alone in the car. It's the
I'd
only
love
place
to get
ever.
a snapshot of that.
Well, it's pretty lovely, actually.
Oh.
Just completely diffused.
Yeah.
Oh. What's up?
Well, I'm happy for your creative expression.
Yeah.
Okay, so between the
Very
dates
supportive.
of July 11th and 18th, 2022, there were 15 celebrities who flew by private jet. In total, these celebrities took 48 flights. That amounts to an average of 3.2 flights within a week. Kim Kardashian took 3 flights in that time period, giving off 23 tons of CO2 emissions. For perspective, the average American gives off 16 tons a year.
Whoa. And so the emissions, it's basically saying like per capita, essentially, like per person, because there's only like, say, 4 people on that flight, right? But like a commercial airliner is putting out more than that plane that she's on, but just because there's only 4 people on that plane, it's like way worse per person.
I believe so.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's crazy.
The night you said, so she gave out more in that week than most people do in the year.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And many of these celebrities claim to care about the environment. Kim Kardashian just released eco-friendly skincare. Oprah, who supports environmental causes. And Drake, who last year announced a partnership with the climate-conscious firm to help him achieve a more sustainable travel plan. All of these people have a ton of emissions.
Yeah.
And that's called greenwashing, when businesses do it all the time, when they say they're doing environmentally friendly things, but everything else they're doing is completely obliterating that.
Yeah.
Bill Gates, a high-profile supporter of initiatives to tackle climate change, took 59 flights in 2017, which is 213,000 miles. Yeah, and I did want to give a greenwashing official definition. It's using the language of environmentalism, but not actively using influence to fight for transformative policies or even change their own carbon-intensive habits.
Well, that's the thing is, like, if they're using it to fight for policies, I think that does bring the needle of them fucking it up so bad. Like, if you're Leo, and I don't know how deeply he actually cares or like how much he's actually doing, but it seems like he is focusing kind of on policy, right? Which I think is the only, I don't believe in individual solutions to collective problems, right? Like, if all of these celebrities stopped, I mean, what would be the thing that makes the change would be the policy that would come from all of these influential people doing this, right? It wouldn't be that that their emissions go down personally. It would be that we cut emissions as a society based on their influence, right? So if somebody like Leo is trying to help make all these big policy changes, it's a busy life, and if he's taking a lot of flights to go do that, I don't know. I mean, it gets complicated. Well, but if if you're just saying, hey, my skincare brand is sustainable, but you take 3 flights a week, it's...
Because there is the reality that they don't have lots of other alternatives for travel because of the horrible world that we live in.
Yeah, I mean, they can't get around. Like we just talked about. Like if Kim Kardashian got on a commercial flight,
I think the rule should be that if you get the privilege of being a celebrity in this culture, you should only be allowed to bike. And yes, you can use a moped.
Yeah, that would be really healthy because nobody would want to be a celebrity.
Exactly.
That would be really helpful. Yeah.
I would be the only celebrity.
You're on every billboard with your little bike helmet.
So celebrities using this sort of consumption sends a message to the public that conspicuous consumption is desirable no matter the climate implications because we want what they do. So in France, there's a movement to crack down on the carbon usage of the rich, namely their private jet usage. Mm-hmm. The French transportation minister has called for restrictions on private jets, citing their climate impact. It's more about the signal that private jet usage sends to the public, and it's based on the concept that if the government is giving exemptions to the biggest polluters, then you can't expect the public to make changes.
Yeah. I mean, it did, but it's not like these people are like them using a private jet. It's not like it influences someone who's not like. It doesn't matter that they are influencing. Like nobody can afford that.
Yeah.
It's not like they're like. I think it's more again on the policy side. Like if there is like, if there is like the influence of them all collectively not doing that. Like if France said, hey, we're not doing this, it's weird to come from the policy side and clamp down on that. It's more like air travel in general should be less. So it would be like, we're also taking this away from celebrities. They aren't exempt from this.
Yeah.
And it should just be everybody,
Which is hard.
And in France, it would be like,
fun.
It is fun, but it's not that. I mean, in like France, I feel like they also have other infrastructure. Like they have Euro.
They have better trains.
Yeah, like I would take.
I wish we had
great.
They're awesome. I wish we had better train.
Amtrak is not bad. I mean,
it's expensive.
It is expensive, and it's like janky. Like it should be like updated and slick and cool, and everybody would take it. I would take it everywhere, anywhere in the Midwest that I can take an Amtrak from Chicago. I'd do it.
I absolutely would, because you can also get more done.
I've taken it to Cincinnati. I've taken.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's cheaper than flying. It is. I mean, it depends, but
it can be long.
It can be long. Like that was like 8 hours or something because it's not direct. You're stopping other places and all this stuff. But if you have the time, like I was just like working on the train, and then on the way back it was like through the night, and I just kind of slept on the train. But if it wasn't so. Like, if it was updated, more comfortable, cheaper, and faster, then it would be a real option for a lot of people. Like, but it's just, and it would be with all that investment, then there would be more like advertising for it too, and then people would be like, oh, this is like a viable option to get me to go see my family on whatever holiday, whatever it is, So. I don't know. We just, in America, just do not invest in infrastructure like that.
And we need to.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
We absolutely need to. Okay, so the next topic is super yachts. This is from Time Magazine.
Ooh.
According to Indiana University professors, super yachts are by far the worst asset to own from an environmental standpoint. Mm-hmm. An analysis of the top 20 billionaires in the world found that they emitted an average of 8,000 metric tons of carbon dioxide in 2018, of which 2/3 is caused by super yachts. The yacht, owned by Roman Abramovich, the billionaire who built a fortune off trading gas and oil, was responsible for 22,440 metric tons of carbon emissions that year, the same as the emissions released by over 4,800 gasoline cars driving for a year in the United States. And the pandemic affected this a lot because the wealth inequality rose as the world's 500 richest people collectively saw their wealth increase by more than $800 billion during the height of the pandemic. And then more of these wealthy people sought to buy yachts because they wanted to get away and still have their little vacations.
So it compounded. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's wild.
I don't even like boats. I think I died on the Titanic.
What?
Never mind.
Wait, no. This is not, we're not going to let this one slide. You think that you, in a past life, died on the Titanic. That's what you think.
Yeah, but listen to my science stuff.
Yeah. This is the real dichotomy of this podcast is the person who is the one with the information that is the expert. He's also into this kind of shit. It's like the most and least reputable at the same time.
I would never, ever go on a cruise, a yacht. None of that appeals to me.
Yeah.
It all scares me.
Yeah.
The Titanic has really scared me since I was a kid.
Yeah? Yeah, well, you saw it and you were like, you came back online from your previous life. Oh, God, no. Not again. You don't like the violin.
I'm reliving the horror every day.
You don't like the violin because it was playing on the dock or on the deck when you were going down.
Oh my God, imagine. Imagine violin being the last thing you hear before you fall into an icy chasm.
Just sinking down. Brutal. Did you like the movie when you were a kid?
No, I hated it.
You really hated it?
Yeah, but I also watched it like the first week of the pandemic and I was really stressed out already.
That's the first time you ever saw it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I saw it like when it came out.
Oh no.
I heard that there was boobs in it and I had to I had to see it. And also it was a classic of cinema now, but it was it's not a traumatic film for me though. It was actually really fascinating. I had like picture books
They're
of like
love
the real
bombing
Titanic.
each other. They've known each other for 2 days and then suddenly I'm like,
it's so funny that you're applying a TikTok term to a film from like the 2000s.
The relationship with his...
I don't support the Titanic because it was love bombing.
She should have listened more to her family.
Who told her that dirty guy is too poor to date? Yeah. That's what you're saying? That she should have... That untouchable fucking dirty scoundrel, and you're like, yeah, they got a point.
I don't think she should have banked the rest of her life on him.
Well, he saved her life.
Did he?
Yeah. Well, are you? Yeah. Have you seen the film or not?
Turns out
I don't know if you have seen the film. You watched half of it and you're like, this fucking love bombing bullshit. Turned it off. Love bombing on a boat. I mean, just your two least favorite things.
I know. All right. Speaking of, water. In 2022, in a third year of drought, Californians were asked to limit their indoor water usage to 55 gallons per person per day, and it takes 30 gallons to fill a bathtub. Celebrities listed in a drought report represented a handful of more than 2,000 customers in Los Angeles who violated the rule. Mm-hmm. So properties in the communities of Calabasas and Hidden Hills, which are exclusive enclaves in the Santa Monica Mountains above Malibu, that's where the Kardashians live, had green lawns and full swimming pools. Kevin Hart, Sylvester Stallone, and Kim and Kourtney Kardashian were cited on the list of people who use more than 150% of their allocated water budget. Dwayne Wade's property, for example, exceeded his allotted water budget by 489,000 gallons in May.
489,000.
Yeah, that's so much water.
He's supposed to use 55 gallons. That is such an insane... That's like you being like, I'm trying to think of, that's you so overshot the mark. That's like if you cheated on someone with like every woman in Chicago, like every woman in America.
It's
Like,
it's like you had an experimental open relationship.
Yeah.
And then you cheated with every woman. No,
Yeah.
I guess. No, let's cut this part out. Hold on. Sorry.
Well, now it's really funny, and you got to keep it in.
I didn't really think this through.
It's like
You
it's like a
do
different
the
analogy.
metaphor. You do the analogy.
So 489,000, and he was supposed to have 55. I mean, that's like so ridiculous. I'd stick with the first one. I think the one
That was good.
But yeah,
really hungry.
God, that is so. Do you want a carrot?
Can I have a carrot?
Get some carrots. They're on the counter. Keep rolling because this is hilarious. She can't. She's so weak from not eating. She's getting carrots and hummus. Yeah. All right. Fuel up. This is amazing. Wait. Chomp it. Okay. This is probably like people probably hate this.
So, if celebrities don't abide by policies, then why would average people feel the need to? It communicates that these policies don't have to be followed. So, officials have created a device to take power showers away from rich and famous water hogs. A small metal disc with a pinhole drilled through the middle. It has seriously reduced the flow of water into some multi-million-dollar homes.
Water Hogs is amazing.
So here's our character of the show.
Wait, Water Hogs is like
Water
a sequel
Hogs.
to Old Hogs?
Yeah.
You remember that movie?
Yeah. I thought, no, it was Wild Hogs.
Wild Hogs, yeah.
Not Old Hogs.
No, but they're all old as fuck.
Yeah.
Old Hogs.
So here's our character of...
They're from a jet ski gang.
So our character of the week is Derek Kraus. He's called the Water Police, quote unquote. He works for the municipal utility, the Las Virgenes Water District, and his job is to install and remove the water flow restrictors if homeowners ignore repeated warnings to cut back. The utility can also issue fines, and if celebrities get 5 warnings, a flow restrictor will be put
5 warnings.
Yeah, will be put on their home's main water pipe. So Kevin Hart had a flow restrictor put on. The Kardashians didn't because they pledged to cut their water usage. And Stallone, this is a quote, Stallone is also working to cut his water use.
Mm-hmm. So what's the guy's name again? That's in charge of this?
Derek Kraus.
Derek Kraus. He sounds like a guy who like a security guard or something. Like like the fun police.
Yeah,
Kraus.
he fully loves doing this.
See, because they're celebrities, he loves like bringing them back down to earth.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. That's so funny.
Let's see. I thought I had a quote from him.
I want to see what this guy looks like.
Yeah, I tried to.
Derek Kraus. Is that him? Oh.
Yeah, this was him.
Oh hell yeah.
Derek Kraus. He looks like he's from Chicago.
He does look a little Chicago-y. So he puts these water restrictors on Kevin Hart's like property and everybody. It's so funny that the other celebrities were like, he was about to put it on theirs, and they were like, "Wait, no, we won't."
They're like, "No, we'll do
and
it."
apparently, Kevin Hart just was like, "No, I'm going to keep doing
I
this.
need you to put this restrictor on.
I can't stop." Yeah, he's going to water rehab.
So people in California do need to adapt their idea of what's aesthetically pleasing because, it's a desert.
Yeah.
You can't have a big green lawn. I'm talking to you, entire Kardashian family.
Yeah.
And Kevin Hart.
Kev.
Yeah, celebrity in our culture is directly tied to consumerism. So products sold. This was in the wrong section. We're gonna be doing a lot of cutting.
Yeah,
but yeah, so it's the whole problem with they are living on these compounds and they spend all their time there. So they are like, well, I want my pool and my green lawn and because I can't go to the public park or whatever.
Right. I mean, it's a weird problem, but I mean, they just have to you can't have a big green lawn. It's crazy. I mean,
Can't have a big green lawn.
You can't be doing it.
You got to move to Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I mean, I'm in favor of this water restriction guy. I think
He should be a celebrity.
Stop. Why 5 warnings? Like, how about let's do
2,
1, 2,
Yeah.
like 5 warnings, and then when they just go, yeah, we'll stop. Like I'm way in favor of being more strict about.
So
this
Kevin
than
Hart
less.
was warned 5 times.
Yeah, and then and he's just like, And especially if they know that there's 5 warnings, I'm sure there's a lot of people who are like,
How many times does he shower in a day?
Yeah, that seems also just. It's
a lot of water.
It's just got to be sprinklers on
Yeah.
a big like estate.
It's pool, sprinklers,
Well, pool is one
fountain.
time. Oh yeah, if they have like fountains or like water slides in their pool and shit like that.
That's
yeah,
so crazy.
but
I wouldn't even be able to use that much water.
well, yeah,
It
you
would
don't have a compound, bro. Yeah, I guarantee the vast majority is like sprinkle because to keep grass alive in that climate, it must be like they have to water it all the time. It's like being beaten down by the sun all the time.
Yeah. It also
So-
costs so much money to use that much water.
Yeah, but that's not a problem for them.
So like it or not, celebrities are the most influential people in our culture. Our celebrity culture is directly tied to consumerism. Products sold directly or indirectly on the idea that their use will make the consumer be more like the celebrity.
Yeah.
And it's an idea that having more and having certain products will make you happier and give you a better life. So everything
Right.
celebrities do is very aspirational. And then them selling products makes us want to have them because we assume that our life will be better because of it. So
It's so sad.
it's so sad.
Stupid.
So 2017 research.
Human beings are we're so impressive and we're such sad little creatures.
Well, what's interesting is this is all based on very, very. It's our primitive brain. This
Yeah.
sort of blew my mind. So 2017 research showed that environmental organizations that started partnering with celebrities more to talk about the climate crisis, basically showed that celebrities offered a key asset that scientists couldn't, which was telling followers how to feel. So the public trusts celebrities.
Yeah.
So we trust celebrities because when we see celebrities, we think we know them personally, and it's because of
Parasocial.
it's parasocial relationship. So our brains were not built for the current age notion of celebrity. We evolved. Our brains evolved without TV, movies, gossip magazines, and other stuff like that. Our brains are highly tuned to recognize people, mainly because when we were in primitive times, it was a life or death decision to determine who was a friend or not.
Yeah, there's like that's a Huberman thing of like there's a lot of the brain devoted to facial recognition. Like it's like a big, like deep human thing.
Like we weren't evolved to see people and know everything about them and then also not know them personally.
Yeah, it's like emotional. It's. I mean, obviously, we're talking about how it's hardwired to not make sense to us. It's like an emotionally weird thing. Like we all have like musicians and people who've like made great work that we love and it, like really affects you. And then to not actually know that person is very strange.
It's very weird
Yeah.
because you feel like you know them, but they don't
feel
know
like-
you at all.
Right. I feel like it's different with like authors. Like I feel like before like TV, movies, all this stuff, like when you were seeing the person do the thing all the time, like if like someone wrote a novel back in like Hemingway or whatever, and then you only ever saw him like sometimes in the newspaper or
Yeah.
something, like one photo. That's so different than like seeing them, like watching their music video 100 times
Yeah.
or watching them get interviewed on every media outlet all the time or seeing them in a bunch of your favorite movies or whatever it is. Like it's such a different experience.
It's emotional.
Way more confusing.
It's very
emotionally.
confusing for the brain. It's very emotional. Like our brains were not evolved to watch someone to watch someone's face on a giant screen and not know that person.
It is, yeah. The experience of seeing someone's like face on a like at a close up at a movie theater, it's so like our brains are like, what is that?
Yeah.
Like it's just so like literally physically big.
And our brains
screen.
are like, oh, that's a beautiful person who seems to be really nice. That is a dear friend of mine now.
Yes, they go in the family and friends category
Yeah.
in your stupid little brain.
So when we met people in the wild, it was critical to remember friendly faces and deadly to forget our enemies.
Right. Yeah.
So you literally, your brain thinks of like your brain can't distinguish like a make-believe friend on TV from real ones. So your brain literally categorizes like celebrities, especially if you see them all the time, as someone in your family.
Yeah.
It's it's huge for advertising. Babe Ruth was one of the first celebrities used for marketing in the 30s for Red Rock Cola, rest in peace. And a celebrity endorsement increases a company's sales an average of 4% relative to its competition, and also increases a company's stock value by 0.25%. So how endorsements work is our minds don't do, like we said, don't do a good job of differentiating between real and make-believe. So celebrities become familiar to us. And then when a familiar face promotes a product, it makes it seem as if the product itself is familiar, which makes people more likely to buy it.
Right.
Because the brain loves familiar faces and lights up when we see one.
Yeah.
Which is why community is important. So, and like having real people who you see frequently that you love. So because of the concept
Get
of
recommendations on products and whatever from your actual friends and family.
Yeah. So because of the concept of familiarity, seeing a celebrity arouses our emotions. It connects us to the product and makes it more memorable. And our emotions, more than any other thing, tend to drive our decisions. And so it's important to understand how these manipulation tactics work to start intervening on capitalism, manipulating us to buy products that we don't really need and that are unsustainable and not good for the environment.
And harmful. Yeah, I mean, totally. I bet like a lot of these celebrities going on these different diets and all that stuff changes people's behaviors for sure.
Yep.
Like, you sleep with your phone in a bed because of Ariana Huffington.
I mean, this is a perfect example. More sustainable decision, though. It took me 3 years to buy it.
Right. That's why. Yeah, you did really let it sink in. Or you got worn down.
Yeah.
That's what it was. You're talking about, you're saying it like I was really thoughtful and careful about this decision when it really just wore away at your...
I told my dad yesterday, and then I showed him a picture, and he was like, Lucy.
Gosh, that is... I'll never forgive you for that.
And you know what? It's going to be what makes me big.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But it is hilarious. I mean,
it's insane. It's the most insane thing I've ever
It's one of the craziest things I've ever heard. But yeah, I mean, like I bet that. So basically, what we're coming around to then is that if these people, these like giant celebrities, like all actually committed to like being more sustainable, we think that one, people would make more sustainable choices themselves, like someone changing to a, whatever keto diet because of Rogan or something, and then like individually make more sustainable choices, but then also policy would probably be influenced by that because they're so influential.
Yeah, 100%.
Because of how deeply hardwired it is in us to like give a shit. What
they basically have to make a sustainable lifestyle aspirational, which overall they're not doing. We are still influenced in the direction of like super wealth.
Yeah, I mean it's not flashy to abstain. Like it's,
even though it does
not,
feel better internally.
Yeah, it's like okay, well, it's like we know that about not being a drug addict, but like drugs are flashy and it looks fun, but but abstaining feels way better in the long run, so like
and some would say buying is like a drug.
Buying is like a drug. Some would say, you would say that, is what you're saying.
Yeah. So,
It is. It's addicting to buy shit.
Yeah.
It really is.
Well, because it's fully a dopamine.
Yeah,
immediate dopamine hit.
Oh my God! Every time when you're when you're sad or lonely,
Go to
and
Target.
you just buy a shirt, you're like, fixed it. You know,
Amazing.
you're like, this is gonna change everything.
Mm-hmm.
These new fucking jeans. These are gonna. There's no way I'll be a lonely idiot after this. With these jeans, come on.
A sweet little look into Tyler's brain.
It's not just me. You can't tell me you don't identify with that.
Yeah, for me, it's going to Whole Foods and buying supplements that I think will have an immediate placebo effect on me. I go, oh, this will make me happy.
That's so funny that you put placebo in the name.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, because I never use them consistently.
Right. Yeah, that is the way that you're. But I do that too, though. I buy I'll be like, fuck, I've been depressed lately. Probably vitamin D is what I need, or like whatever, or like, B12. I hear B12 is good. It's all these just different letters and numbers.
But you'd have to take it like every single day.
You got to take it every day
months.
for forever to feel it. But clicking that buy button makes it,
instant connection between consumerism and dopamine.
Oh yeah,
And it's bad for the environment.
What's good for that is cold shower.
Cold shower.
Keep that dopamine,
Which is also good for the environment.
steady.
You use less
interesting.
water.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because you're like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. My shower doesn't get that hot. Like it gets, so I don't even get anything out of the hot side of it. Like I don't get the I love a hot shower. Everybody does, but it's like I'm not even getting that this feels amazing because it's a hot shower out of the hot side of my shower. So I've just gone all cold because I'm like, I am gonna get the benefit of that afterwards. So I'm kind of a hero, actually.
Yeah,
it comes
so
down
that's
to
what I'm hearing is I didn't know my guest was Andrew Huberman of the Huberman Lab.
Yeah, no, he's got a much better jawline than me.
Did you know he's 5'6", short king?
What?
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's amazing. He's a skateboarder.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, good
Grew
for
up
him.
in California skating, like famous skateboarders and stuff.
Yeah, hop on over to pretty much an equivalent podcast in terms of
Huberman
popularity, Huberman Lab.
Yeah.
So
We got to get Huberman on the pod.
he's very influential. There's a new level of influence, which is just podcasters doing tiny clips.
Yep.
Okay, so for closing this out.
We would never do
Yeah,
that.
no. So for sustainability purposes, a 2020 study in the Journal of Sustainability found that audiences who felt a connection to a certain celebrity did adapt their attitudes and behaviors in response. So celebrities do have a lot of power. And but they have to genuinely change their whole lifestyle. It's like Kim Kardashian being like, I love this lipstick that's vegan. Isn't going to do anything.
Not bad. Not bad, Kim.
Not a bad Kim. So I think if celebrities do want to travel, they have to either only ride a bike or do what Greta Thunberg did, which was she took a 14-day journey to cross the Atlantic on a carbon neutral journey via a boat
So
for
you'll
climate
just
change
never go to
summits.
Europe then. You'll never go anywhere
No, I
outside
do
of
love to
America.
travel, which is it's hard. It's
Yeah,
like how do you participate in modern culture in the modern
Well,
world?
and as comedians, it's hard for us to fucking talk.
Yeah.
Like our aspiration is to fly almost every week. So
yeah.
it's like if we do well at this job, at this career, then we will be someone that is doing harm.
Yeah.
So it's tough, but I think that there are certain jobs
But
where
if
it's
you
that's just the
subscribe to
case.
our Patreon, and just put in as much money as you can, then we can get a Tesla that we use to tour around the country.
I would actually love that.
That would be cool.
Yeah. That's so funny. We're like, give us your money so we can get a Tesla. Not even that we're just like, we're trying to start out.
But I
get a
want my
career
own
together.
Tesla, so we actually need 2 Teslas.
Yeah, we need 2 Teslas worth of Patreon money. So that's a steep hill. So
We might need to write a few grants.
yeah, we should do that. Actually.
So thank you for listening.
Thank you guys. This was a
was
fun
interesting,
one.
right?
I love attacking the rich and the powerful. Yeah. Also, if you can, I also think, but also being conscious of celebrities' influence on you. I feel like undercuts the like depth or like severity of it.
Oh,
like
yeah.
if you know that, if you're aware of this and like conscious like throughout your day to day that like, oh shit, I have a propensity to be influenced by these people.
What I'm about to tell you is I have been
Oh my god, yes.
so insanely influenced by celebrities my whole life.
Right.
So when I was a kid, I loved the show The Girls Next Door. It was
Okay.
like the girlfriends of Hugh Hefner. It just like made their lives look really normal. They were just like eating lunch at the Playboy Mansion. I was like, this is totally normal. Like, does
Right.
not go at all into what Playboy really is. One of his girlfriends, Kendra, was a huge. This is so crazy.
When the hands come up like this, I know it's going to be like an incredibly embarrassing story. The last time you did this, you told me that you sang Colors of the Wind to a date when you were composting.
So she's from San Diego, is a huge Chargers fan, and I was like, for like 6 months, I became a huge Chargers fan, and
You didn't even like football.
I got a LaDainian Tomlinson fathead.
That's a big like life size on your wall.
When I was
You
like,
still have it?
I think we got rid of
Oh
it.
my god!
When I was
You have
9,
that?
I
Oh.
slept with LaDainian Tomlinson's head above my bed. This is why celebrities need to stop.
That is amazing.
My parents never questioned it.
They were like, all right, I guess he likes the Chargers. San Diego's nice. But
My mom
why?
was dating a guy from California, and he got me a LaDainian Tomlinson jersey.
He's like, I'm in after this. That's amazing that your obsession might have gotten your mom laid.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So we need to
Gosh.
stop.
Yeah.
I'm so susceptible.
Yeah, I am too. I mean, like, you know, I just said the cold shower thing. Like, I listen to the Huberman's podcast sometimes, and I'm like, I'm
That's so
doing
much
cold
healthier than
showers.
buying something, though. Like,
Right, I mean, that
Instagram's
is-
pretty brutal
Well, that's
for
the
me.
thing is you can choose when you're conscious of this. Like,
Yeah.
you can choose who to be influenced by. Like, is it gonna be like you know, some one of the Playboy bunnies, or is it gonna be some like a neuroscientist? Like, choose your celebrities that you want to pay attention to. But we also, to be fair, we're talking about you as a child and me as a 31-year-old man.
Yeah.
We're talking about a very
But we're also
different
talking about
times.
me as a 28-year-old woman having bought a tiny bed. So I
You did buy the tiny bed like this year. And you were thinking about it for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But it is crazy to think about just like influencer culture. It's just such a big part of our culture now. And it's so like I do try to be better. I try to be as minimalist as possible and like not buy unnecessary stuff except a tiny bed. But
I'm glad you kept that in because it's going right
but
back
it's just
around
so
with that.
easy. Like I'll be on Instagram and a sustainability influencer who I really trust and enjoy their content
Yeah.
will recommend something, and I'm like, yeah, I want that, and I can buy it in one click.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's you kind of can't avoid it, but I think, like you said, it's like choosing people that you actually like admire, you know, and them for whatever reason, for their environmental, whatever, for their knowledge about this or that or whatever. But just not going along with just like the most famous people of all time, you know, and just by default being like, this all seems fine, you know?
Well, because also people like the Kardashians got so rich because they were willing to promote anything.
Yeah.
Like they're not. They are.
Yeah, they're not like.
They like are capitalism.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And so, like, that kind of. Like, I think that's the default setting. If you're going around just, I'll be influenced by the biggest, most famous people of all time, then they got there because they're not discerning with what they promote.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so.
It's just money.
Yeah, money's money. So, like, yeah, if you can just find some people to be influenced by, like, you know, two podcast hosts.
Two podcast hosts.
One with a silly shirt and one with a crew neck. maybe that, somebody like that might be someone to listen to.
And we want to thank our sponsor. I don't know. What a funny. I'm so hungry. Can I have another carrot?
Oh my God! Just like we're gonna wrap up. Just the death of that riff was so thorough. You could think of one podcast sponsor. Blue Chew.
Kachava.
Kachava is supposed to be a good one.
Yeah,
right?
that's what. But just the name Kachava.
We should get that. I bet that we could do that. So
that would actually be pretty sick.
I think we could do that. So, okay, guys, thank you so much for listening.
Hope you liked it. I'm really sorry about my blood sugar levels.
It's fine. I'm sure it's fine. Patting you on the back. It's going to be okay. Thank you guys, as always, for listening. Please rate, review, subscribe on iTunes, YouTube. Tell 3-4 friends about the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for supporting the clips, for downloading, all that stuff. It really helps. We really appreciate it. And
take a cold shower.
Take a cold shower, and don't buy a LaDainian Tomlinson fathead. That's our podcast for the week. Thank you guys so much. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye.